Hello, Coach Dat here with another chess tutorial for you, and today we are going to talk about chess tactics. Now, chess is a game of strategy where two people are mobilizing their pieces and trying to develop strategies to checkmate the other person's king. They use such elements as number one, force, the number of pieces and numerical value of the pieces that is left on the board. Number two, it's time. The efficiency in which pieces are being developed and being brought out towards the center, towards the other person's king. Third, it's space. The amount of territory controlled by each player. Good players like to pick a strategy and follow its logical conclusions. However, those strategies and those plans is normally thwarted and diminished by an opponent who plays a really good tactic. Tactics are maneuvers that take advantage of short-term opportunities. The first tactic that we will talk about is called the double attack. Now, double attack can be categorized in a couple of different names. Number one is called discovered attacks, forks, and lastly, attacks by pawn. Now, when you move pieces and attack both pieces at the same time for an opponent, puts a lot of pressure on that person because they can only move a single piece. A double attack is great because your opponent can only respond by moving one piece. So having a successful double attack against your opponent will put them at a big time disadvantage as they are trying to develop their strategies and plans against you. The first one that we'll talk about is called discovered attacks. Now, the general definition of discovered attacks is a queen, a rook, or bishop lies in wait so that it can attack when another piece or a pawn of its own color moves out of its way. Now, here in this example, I've created a very simple example that best explains what a discovered attack is. Now, in this discovered attack, white has an opportunity to forcefully take one of these knights by moving one piece. The main piece that it will move, do you see it? Is if the bishop goes to e3. As you can see, white is now attacking two pieces on the board at the same time. When the bishop has moved here, the bishop number one is starting to attack this knight on a7. And when the bishop moved out of the way, it opened up the file for the rook to come down and attack this knight on d7. And this tactic is so great because all white has done is move one piece, but has developed a way to attack two pieces at the same time. And this is why it's really important to start developing your pieces, especially your pieces behind your own pieces, so that when you move a single piece out of the way, you can create combinations of double attacks and tactics that will go and thwart your opponent's plans. So as you can see here, the rook is attacking this knight, this bishop is attacking this knight. It doesn't matter of which way this knight goes. If this knight decides to go here, this bishop can take it. Or this knight decides to run away, this bishop is still attacking this knight, so the bishop can come over here and attack this knight. And what about if this knight moves? If this knight decides to move, this rook can come down here and attack this knight and just simply take it away. In these upcoming examples, I would like to invite you to solve these tactics puzzles alongside with me. Being able to test your mind and seeing if you can recognize the positions on the board and seeing if you can solve it yourself. What you can do is anytime you see this number on the screen, you can press the space bar or you can press the pause button in order to give yourself a little bit more time, and then you'll be able to solve it alongside with me. You can set up the board and even move around the pieces at home on your computer as we solve all of these together. Best of luck to you. In this example, we have white to move. White can perform a really great discovered attack in this example. Do you see the move? Okay, so the answer that you'll see right here, if you said bishop to a6 is your move, that is the correct move because whatever black does here, black has two major pieces being attacked in this situation. For example, this rook here is attacking this queen, and this bishop right here is attacking this rook. It doesn't matter which piece black decides to move because one of these pieces is going to get lost. More than likely, black is going to try to find a way to just save its own queen. It could just move over here, sidestep to the left a little bit, and then white will simply take this rook. As you remember, rooks are worth 5 points, whereas bishops are worth 3, and queens are worth 9 points. In this discovered attack, there's a very simple discovered attack, but it only happens whenever you develop your pieces so that it can hide behind another one of your pieces as an ambush and attack for your opponent. Can you find a discovered attack in this example? If you said king to e3, then you are correct. As you can see here, the king has moved to e3, being one space away from this knight and attacking this knight on f3. The rook over here, since the king has moved out of its way, the rook has now have an open file all the way down here to attack this knight on d8. So therefore, it doesn't matter which move black decides to make. If it decides to move over here, this knight is going to be lost. Or if it decides to move this knight back, this rook can come down here and attack this knight further. Now you might be wondering to yourself, why can't we just attack this knight on e2 or e4? If you open up an opportunity on this square, black can simply use its knight to attack this king to put it in check, therefore losing the momentum that white could win an easy piece. And it doesn't matter which way it decides to go, it will protect itself. So if this king comes over here, this knight can simply come over here to protect this knight, and you have lost your opportunity with a great discovered attack. Here we have another tactics puzzle. Can you find the right answer? You are playing as white. Okay, if you said bishop to g5, then you are correct. What this accomplishes is that both the bishop is attacking this bishop right here on e7, and the queen is attacking this bishop on e7, as well as this rook attacking this queen on d8. As you can see here, if the queen decides to move and sidesteps itself into its safety, the bishop can simply take here, and even if the queen decides to take, it will be attacked by this white's queen right here on e2. So you essentially will still lose a lot of pieces, and you're looking at a very good double attack here. As you can see in this example, the rook's view was being blocked by its bishop, and once white has moved it out of its way, the rook is then attacking a very major piece right here on the board, as well as attacking this piece that both the queen and the bishop is attacking at the same time. So it doesn't matter if this single queen is protecting this bishop, because this queen right here, it has to do something, or else this rook will take this queen for free. So there's no other way that you'll be able to protect this bishop, because you have to find a way to answer by moving this queen. If you also said the bishop to b4, then that is also a great move as well, because it does nearly the same thing. The bishop can't simply take white's bishop on b4 because it's ignoring the protection of the queen that's located right here on d8. And this is a great discovery attack that you'll see right here on this board. Here's another discovery attack example. Can you find the right answer? It is white to move. As you can see here, is a very similar position to the last example that we've had, except that this time we have our queen on f3, which is no longer supporting down the e file anymore. Can we use bishop to g5 or bishop to b4 as the strong move? Absolutely not. You'll simply lose out on the exchange, and you lose out on a very good discovered attack right here. In this example, if you said bishop to f4, as you can see here, the black's rook is now on b8. It wasn't on a8 as last time. White is now attacking both these two pieces, and therefore the rook can take a major piece, which is 9 points. It could trade up for 5 points for 9 points, or it could trade 3 for 5 points right here. Now, if black even decides to try to take this rook, this queen right here is protecting that rook, therefore it'll just win the exchange back. So if we reset back in this position, remember, going from this discovered attack, opening up for this rook to go down and attack this line, this bishop is now attacking this rook on b8. It doesn't matter what black decides to do. Black will most likely protect its own queen, which will sidestep it all the way to f8. White will take the rook on b8, and then black will take the bishop. However, white has won the exchange against black. So white has gained 2 points in this fight right here, and black has lost a major piece to a minor piece. I'd like to take the time to thank everyone who has watched this chess tutorial video, and for all the supporters who have helped me out through all the years. This channel has grown since the first video that I made for this channel, and again, it's a big time thanks to all of you. Thank you very much for those who have subscribed to my channel, and for even hitting the like button and giving me the biggest support throughout all these years. If you would like to watch any future videos, remember, you can always subscribe to this page, and you can even press the bell notification to see any future videos that I'll make in the future. Again, thank you very much for your support, and I look forward to seeing you at the next chess tutorial video.